And welcome back. Some more stuff on arrays. We'll start off with the concept of storing things that are not the same. For example, let's pretend like we have an array of doubles that modify or keep track of grades. Yes. So we know that we have 10 grades because we have 10 students in the class, and we want to initialize it all to 0. But we need to give it a size, so we need an integer, a constant integer of size. And I'm actually going to make it 3 because I have to type it all in. So we'll just make it a little bit easier on myself. So we'll make an array of size 3. And then we just want to load that. So we'll do a little loop. And we'll ask the user to input a grade. I'm not going to do any validation with it right now, so we'll just take it and put it inside our grades. And we'll assume that our users aren't total idiots in this time, and we'll print it out. And we'll mix and match possible things. And there we go. Let's run this sucker. We'll enter a grade, a 90, an 80, a 70, and there the grades are. But typically grades are assigned values of things. They either correspond to a student or to a test or something like that. But let's pretend like these are the class average grades for a given student. Well, unfortunately, there's no way to fix this right here. We can't change grades and make it all of a sudden hold both strings and doubles, at least not at this level of the game. So what we want to do is this concept called parallel arrays. So we know we can take and declare a standard string, and we know we can call it names, and we know we can give it the size, because we can declare arrays of anything that we've got. And we know that we don't have to worry about initializing it because of the new way things work. And I can actually go out and say, hey, when you get a grade and you do this, hey, give me the student name to go with it too. So what's happening with a parallel array is the index between the two arrays, index 0, ties the index 0's name to the index 0's grade. So if you can think of these stacked on top of each other, the first one is the name, the second one, then you drop down in that column, you're still working in the 0, you get a grade. You can stack as many arrays as you want on top of each other, each containing whatever you need, from grades to class numbers to names to financial status to IDs. You can make a whole bunch of parallel arrays using appropriately named things and store information in it. So you can ask people, say standard cout, get the user's name for the grade. There we go. So now you can see we're using the get the name and get the grade. The catch down here is this is not an easy way now to print stuff because it'll print out this, but it's printing out a copy. We lose the indexing of things. So most times I do this. So now you can see we can use these same indexes, 0 through size, to print out the name and the grade. We can keep them correlated between each other. So I didn't make any typos. And now we have a problem, of course, don't we? I forgot about that briefly. Remember way back when you have an enter here, the new line character is what getLine is going for. So we've got to fix that. We have to ignore out that thing. And now it should work. Did I screw it up? I did. No one got that. There we go. And well, that will fix it anyway. So you can now see that we can load things up, and if you don't screw up the code, you can actually load names and then load grades in the same order. And we see the grades came in, but the name didn't because I had 0 in there, so I just kept overwriting the first one. Just to show you that people make mistakes all the time in this stuff. And that gives you the basics of how to load things into a system. Now, what we've been doing is doing everything inside of main. Can you do this inside a function? Yes. For example, this is our print out of our function. Let's write a little quick print function to handle that piece for us. So if I take a void function called printinfo, I need to pass it in an array of grades and an array of names so that it'll actually loop through and print everything for us. So I need to pass in an int array and a standard string array. And that's what the prototype is for the first part of it. Of course, you also need to give it the size. And if you really want to be kind of picky with it, you can give it a constant integer as the size to make sure that you can't change that thing. And this gives us the format of the function prototype for printing and using arrays. So we'll come down here, we'll say int, we'll use the same names because it doesn't matter. Int names, or s grades, int grades, string names, constant int, and I'll use a capital S for size. So I can just rip this sucker right out, come down here, and pasta that thing right in. I don't have size, I have S though. And I have names and grades. So this should all work just the same way. So all I have to do here is call my function. Printinfo, give it the names, give it the grades, give it the names, and give it the size. So now you can see you can pass into a function whole arrays and let the array manipulate things. If I haven't made any mistakes, nope, it'll compile. Printinfo. Int name. Oh, yeah, grades. Silly me, forgot that grades was a double. And here we go. Keep it simpler so I don't have to type as much. There you go. Jim is a 90, Bob is an 80, Janice is a 70. So you can see that as we grow with this stuff, we can actually make arrays be passed into functions. So we can now output stuff inside a function. And next up on the next video, I'll show you how to manipulate things inside of functions. Hope you're having a great day.